Hello. I want to make some tea and wait for people to show up, and then we'll begin. Trying to get excited about interview tomorrow with Unity. They already IPO'd, man. It's all downhill from here. I mean, maybe if it's your first game industry job and you want to work there to get another job later, but like, I don't know. Didn't they already IPO? They IPO'd, right? Like last year, I don't know. I don't know. How many years before Epic buys Unity? I don't think they will, because one, it appears anti-competitive when there's no need to be, really. And two, I don't think you hire Unity engineers. I think you hire, like if I'm Epic, I want to hire AAA engineers who actually work on games. I don't think I want to hire Unity engine programmers. But that's, I mean, I'm not Epic, right? So I can't tell you. But yeah. Holiday time or stream break only? I don't understand that. Is that a question? Is it a holiday? Sounds like me logic, not typical manager logic. But look at what Epic's been doing already. Like they're not doing the standard playbook. Like they have their own ideas about what they are doing that do not fall into the generic things. Oh, hello, rating people. We're still getting started here. We are still starting up. We're going to be fixing bugs in the compiler based on emails from the beta users. It's been a while since I have shipped a beta, and so it would be a good idea to get a new beta out to the people. To the people. All right, so why don't I check the mailbag and see. Well, let's get the compiler open. We'll get the build going. We'll get our debug and release going. You would like to be beta. Well, there's probably some Reddit forums for that. Probably. The question is, does your wife's boyfriend want you to be beta? That's really the question. Week without streaming, I said I was a bit tired. Oh, I see. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I stream a lot, and then I don't, and then I do. Do I have diamond hands? Yes, but not on the stock that you're thinking. Actually, whoops, I actually want to know how Roblox has been doing since the IPO. Yeah. Well, you know, up and down a little bit. Yeah. I've never played Roblox. I think it's fine. Camera died. Okay, guys, here's the deal. We're going to go without camera for a bit. What happened was somehow the camera got unplugged, and I did a couple meetings today with it unplugged and the battery is drained. And so I plugged it back in right before the stream, but I don't think it likes to go on an empty battery, even if it's plugged in. I think it needs some battery buffer. So we're just going to leave it off for like a while and let it recharge, and then we'll see. Tesla investor. I am an ex-Tesla investor. I bought into Tesla like 2 days after the IPO at the perfect time when it IPO'd at 17. It went down to 15. I bought at 15 and sold it like around 150 because I needed more money to pay for finishing The Witness. And then I bought back in again after that, and then it went up again. And I sold right before the stock split. So at about half of whatever the peak was, or less than half. But you can't really time peaks, so that's pretty good. So I made a bunch of money on Tesla twice. More than enough. I made way more than enough on Tesla stock to pay for the car that I got. So I basically got a free car from Tesla. Now, the really sad thing is I was going to put my retirement account into Tesla stock when it was around 150. And then the what do you call it? Merrill Lynch was being very bureaucratic and wouldn't let me do the trade because I didn't have my phone that day. And I got mad. And so I didn't do it. And so I lost a tremendous amount of money from not doing that. But that's okay. I don't know if you can call it lost money when you lost because you didn't buy, right? But that's what happened. Lost opportunity, yeah. Yeah. You lost because you didn't mine Bitcoin while it didn't even have price yet. Yeah, so did I. I should have, it would have been so easy to mine Bitcoin back. I knew about Bitcoin. I just wasn't into it, right? I don't mind, all of these things, not making money trading stocks and whatever. I actually don't mind not doing that because, it's usually not productive, right? If you buy a stock at the right time and then sell it at the right time, you're just taking money away from somebody else. Now, that might be a scummy hedge fund or whatever, and that's fine, but it's still not a productive activity, right? The productive activity is when you make things. So when we make games, when we make a programming language, and that kind of stuff, that's the actual productive activity. And I don't mind making money for those things, right? But if I don't make money off stocks or whatever, who cares, right? But it is pretty weird to see all these dudes who are mega, mega rich because they have some Bitcoin, right? It's that's kind of, it's not really broken, but it is kind of broken. You know what I mean? It's not that I don't know. It's not that I'm not willing to do it. It's that I'm not that interested in unproductive activities. That's all. Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They called you lots of mean names. You don't feel bad. Yeah, I mean that's to be fair, that is fine. Like the groupthink that seizes upon people is probably one of the biggest problems that we have societally today. So anything that helps show people that the groupthink was wrong is maybe a productive activity. Actually, the problem is I don't think anyone's ever like people just do groupthink every 2 years and it's a different flavor and they don't notice that it's the same thing that they thought was stupid before, right? So so yeah. Let's sell the stream as an NFT. Yeah. I'm selling an NFT for Braid for the moment when there's this puzzle piece on World 5 that's like pretty high, and you try to go get to it, and you bounce off a monster in the right place, and you come close to getting it, but not quite, and then you don't know what to do. Okay, that's the NFT that I'm selling right now on NFT.com. Only $500 trillion. I want to know if Starbase Texas is happening. I will definitely be involved in that in some way. Okay, let's actually do some work. I'm going to check the mailbag here. Okay. Here's someone asking to be in the beta, which we always postpone those for later. Okay. Someone wants to do IDE integration. Somebody who wants me to write dot calls. Deleted. Super delete. Somebody who wants me to do C# style, whatever it's called, link style, return the object so you could keep doing the dot call things. Oh my God. All right, deleted. Bug report, multi-modifier on AutoCast. Yeah, okay, we should check this. Okay. This is not really I mean, it's sort of a bug. It's not that important, but it's something that we should check, right? Okay, so the deal is he's doing these casts and he's saying no check twice, and he's saying like no check trunk and trunk no check and whatever. And I'm actually not sure how much I care about this, but this is weird because these do conflict with each other, right? And I remember just deciding back in the day when I did this, like, we're just going to ignore that and do it later. Builder.generator.getter.result. Is that what he meant? Yeah. Can't you already do this? Yeah, but he was saying like, oh, but all function calls should automatically be that way or something, right? Which, yeah, no. Sorry, no. Okay. Yeah, so this is a pretty redundant. He's basically just saying this, and he's doing it both on autocast and not autocast, which these are the same code path in the compiler, so it doesn't matter. What do the multiple cast modifiers do? Probably not any. It's probably an enum, and it sets. I don't actually remember. We're gonna go look right now. We're gonna go look. Aren't Java C# builder chains like that caused by the lack of name parameters in function calls? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Like, I don't program in that way ever, so I can't tell you. But it is, what it is just, it's another instance of, okay, if anyone out there ever makes your own programming language or even a game or something, right? The number one thing that happens, it's another flavor of the Henry Ford. If I asked my customers what they wanted, they would have said a faster horse, right? Like, everybody wants the thing that they already know and think that they like. And they just want a slightly different version of that. And it's not that surprising because they use this thing and they like it. So they want to tell you that they like it, right? So, but the problem is if you want to do something new, you have to not do that very much. Otherwise, you end up with a thing that's not actually new, right? So if you listen to everybody about what they want, you're going to make something that's not really new. It's this fundamental... it's a little bit of a paradox because you do need to listen to people a little bit as a reality check. But if you listen to them too much, it's bad. And especially if you listen to them to have the idea about what to do in the first place, that's pretty bad. All right. So we're going to go look in the parser at this stuff. So we just set these flags, right? Okay, now we sort of have a problem here because we want to do two things, I guess. If you set a flag twice, do we actually care? Maybe. We'll choose to care for now. So if you reset a flag redundantly, we want to check that. But then we also want to check for different flags and make sure that you didn't already set one, right? Now, the problem is the different flags thing, we don't actually want to check in the parser. And the reason why is because you could get a cast in the syntax tree from a metaprogram, right? And if that happens, they could set a combination of flags that's not valid. So we actually want to put that in the type checker. All right, so cast modifier checking. Here we check to see whether the user sets a flag redundantly. Maybe that'll be a warning. I don't like warnings. Yeah, I don't like warnings, so it's going to be an error. Check to see whether the user sets a flag redundantly. But we don't check here that flags, that multiple conflicting flags are set. That happens during type check because the metaprogram could also submit a cast with various flags set. But of course, the metaprogram can't submit a cast that has multiple flags because it's not like parsed. It's just the flag is set on the data structure. So that's not something we have to check for there. Okay, so we're just going to do this. What are my overloads of? Can I just say token? Yeah. Okay. At some point in the future, we might regret this later. but we're just going to do it for now. All right, and then the same thing down here. All right. Okay. Now we're just going to try that out. See how it goes. There we go. Cast operation was already marked no check, so this modifier was redundant. Great. Great. Let's make sure that trunk, comma, trunk. Yeah, so that works too. Great. And then, you know, we're going to get silly ones. So these all will happen. Yep. And then it was already marked no check. Yeah, so these are all the redundant ones are not going to happen. Yeah. Okay. So now, though, we don't catch this other thing, which is these. And so that is going to go elsewhere. What's the difference between trunk and no check? Right now, there actually isn't one. Except it has a different meaning in terms of intention, I guess. Like trunk means I actually intend for this operation to wrap with the number of bits of the target data type, right? Like I expect it to wrap around. And no check instead it sort of means I'm doing this for speed, or like I know that it can't overflow, but I don't want you to check that, right? But honestly, I'm not sure that I'm very picky about which one I use right now when I use it. So, you know, maybe we need to put more thought into that. Okay. So we're going to go into typer. Okay. Has multiple, has inconsistent modifiers. It is flagged both trunk and no check. That's it, actually. Because we only have 2 flags right now, it's very simple. You can imagine if there were more flags and some of them were compatible with others, but other ones weren't, that this would be a bigger job. But this cast has inconsistent modifiers, no check and trunk. And this is just going to be like very simple, right? It's going to catch all these. Okay, so now we want to make sure that on the existing code, nothing bad happened. I will send an email. fixed in the next beta, period. Okay. Oh, there's someone else who wants to be in the beta. Okay, well, I'm going to put that in the list. More people who want to be in the beta. A lot of people want to be in the beta, which is good. It means people are interested in the language. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna let this person. Well, we should look for more bugs. Sometimes I have too much email to organize. Any questions before we go on? Close my Roblox stock window. Sorry for the completely black screen. We have no camera and no desktop. Wait, what? Uh-oh. I have this list of everyone who I'm going to add to the beta, and there's supposed to be 3 or 4 people in here, and they are not on the list, which means maybe I didn't merge a file from somewhere, which is not good. The theme is too dark. Yes. Does this language have complete type information at runtime as well? Yes. Yes, it does. Okay. Potential bug in thread uninit. It does basic.free to free the data from temporary allocator, but I think this fails if overflow pages have been allocated for that temporary allocator. Taking a look at this, ... Oh, you know what? We forgot to document for the people in the next beta. Cast operator checks for redundant or inconsistent flagging. Modifiers like trunk and no check. Okay. Dude, we haven't shipped a beta since February. I mean, that was the simp beta. It was pretty big. That was a big deal. One day I write zero cost abstraction doesn't mean zero cost. Chandler Carruth actually has a good talk on that. He doesn't say everything that I would say about it, but he has a lot to say with regard to like compiler optimization and inlining about that. It's like a SIMD beta. I guess that is true. Okay. So he is saying that when we do add new page, oh, yes. Okay. So we free ts.data. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Drat. Okay. So when we free a thread, oh, you know what? Hold on. Before I do any of this, we didn't run tests after that previous thing like I said we would do. So here's the game. Okay. Here's the game. Now with such amazing features as wizards tug on trees remotely. Actually, he should tug on the mirror, actually. Let me write that down. Okay. Wizards tug on trees. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Wizards tug on trees. All right. Okay, so that works. That's great. By the way, we made a great milestone this past week. We now have a version of the overworld for the game that is ostensibly kind of playable. It's not complete. It's only like a third of the final size for what we need for the final game. But it's sort of the first time for this game. Excuse me, I'm dying of COVID here. It's the first time for this game that you could sit down and you could play for many hours and play the majority of the levels, like as an actual player. We wouldn't give it to anyone yet because it's not a very polished experience. There's probably a bunch of basic bugs and stuff. But until this week, it has been the game has sort of been a grab bag of levels, and like now you actually could play the levels in some kind of structure. Does wizard magic redirect through mirrors? Yes. You don't think it should tug mirrors? I don't know. Like, it's more responsive if it does, I think. It could be a different kind of tug that looks different eventually when we get to that point of polishing, right? Do we plan to make a beta for the game? No. This is not a game. Okay. So some kinds of games are good for betas, right? Like a survival game where there's still value in playing it again after it's final because things are changed, right? And it's a long play kind of game. Multiplayer games, those all can have betas. A single player puzzle game, it's just not, betas are not good because you play the bad version of the game with all the bugs, and then they get fixed. And then if you played the good version, like you already did all the puzzles. So why, right? Okay. Commit. That's not the right thing. We're committing the compiler. I wonder if there's other changes that I didn't commit. Nope. Okay. So check for redundant cast flags. Great. Very good. Oh my God. Okay. So that's what's going on is, yeah, okay. There's the beta as well. Now I have to edit the changelog. See, I didn't update everybody. Hold on. What's in my changelog? Oh, yeah, that was a good fix. That's actually more. I try to order the bug fixes by how important they are. That's probably the most important one. Okay. Now, though, I got to turn my screen off for a second again, because I'm going to edit the beta file. There we go. There's all the guys I recently promised to add. Very good. Very good. Okay. Okay. So let's try this again. Recent messages. Check for redundant cast flags. There we go. There we go. Wonderful. What are the conditions of qualifying to the beta? Basically, we're putting people in who are actually going to use the language a lot and who are not beginners, because we're not focused on being super beginner friendly yet. And who are just working on serious problems in some way. If you want to succeed in the game industry, you have to update. Sure. Yeah, I buy that. Okay. Now, we were back working on the next thing, right? We were looking at this allocator thing. We have this add new page. And then we have on init. Okay. We're going to say, so other people may want to do this. And okay, here's the thing. We want sort of the API to temporary storage to sort of just be the data structure, right? And so how you free it and clean up after it sort of depends on how it was created. So I think we're going to put this in basic. We're going to put Let me just look at this for a second. Like, all right. So where is the data structure? Temporary storage. So we have original data, original size. And then we have the overflow pages. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. So first of all, here we are doing the wrong thing in thread. Where is it? Primitives, right? So here we're freeing .data. It's probably that this code is old, right? So we really want to free original data because we knew this was a problem, right? So first of all, this. We also need to make sure we set that because we create a temporary storage here. But also we want to clean up the overflow pages. let's just, let's do this. Right, is this starting context? Is it context starting temporary storage? Oh, we actually, I think, want to do this. Because if somebody substituted a temporary storage, like, it's possible for a thread to set their temporary storage to something else and just like leave that. And we don't want to try to free that because we don't know anything about it if somebody does that. So we just want to free ours here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to say, okay, if this allocator was used for temporary storage, we want to free ts.originalData. Okay. And then we want to say for all the overflow pages, free it, comma, ts dot overflow allocator, ts dot overflow allocator data, like that. That looks correct to me. We're going to want to test this. Does this make sense to people? Anyone outside the games industry in the beta? There are, yeah. So you saw the discussion I had with the programmer that mentioned the curl security vulnerabilities article and how they would be fixed by having a memory ownership model. As far as you can tell, 80% of the C mistakes would already be fixed due to bounds checking. Yes, you absolutely can leave bounds checking on in release builds. So right there, like, yes, if you believe that security is absolutely tantamount, right, and you would rather crash than have an overflow, then yes, you can leave overflow checks in a release build and your program will just crash if you overflow. So yes, already that's fixed. Most of those are, yeah, you're right. Most of those are probably fixed. My point in that particular discussion was just that like those are actually still a minority of the bugs. Like people keep doing this sleight of hand, right? This bad internet argumentation thing. And that article does too. It like points to this Google study that's like 70% of the security vulnerabilities were memory related. And it's like, and then people do a game of telephone where they say 70% of bugs are memory vulnerabilities, which is massively false, right? And then they say, oh, so then if you give memory safety, you fix 70% of bugs. Not remotely true. The percentage of bugs that are like memory safety bugs is pretty small, right? And like you actually said, a lot of them will go away naturally. So the reason a lot of these C mistakes survive into release builds in the first place is because they were silently buffer overflowing sometimes during development, and the developer just never noticed because it didn't happen to crash, right? So even if you only leave buffer checks on in debug build, you're probably going to catch the majority of those anyway, right? So, and then as you said, you can leave them on in release build and so forth. They made up 1.48% of all bugs. Yeah. So if your goal is to like ship quality software, you want to fix all the bugs, right? Now, the security bugs are important, yeah, but you want to fix all the bugs. And paying a large cost to fix 1% of bugs doesn't sound like a good trade-off to me. That's what I keep trying to say. And that's why I find the Rust people kind of obnoxious. Like I think Rust has its heart in the right place in a way, right? Like it's trying to solve a real problem, which is better than a lot of these languages, which are trying to solve made up problems, right? They're trying to solve a real problem. They're just not doing the correct cost benefit analysis, right? In part, I don't know why. But anyway, what I was saying to somebody today in a conversation was like, the problem with the Rust community right now is they think that Rust is like an endpoint, like a solution. And it's not. It's like some interesting ideas that are at an early point in the idea cycle. And there are a lot of actually practical problems with them if you took the problem seriously. And it just needs a lot of iteration and refinement to like work on these ideas and get them to the point where a lot of these problems are mitigated and where the benefits are multiplied, and they're not there yet. Right? So, but everybody wants to pretend that they're there. That's all. There's a zealot mode about Rust that is very bad. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird thing. Like the timing of Rust is such that, like, Rust has been around for some years now, but it sort of got big in, let's say, the last 5 years, right? And that coincides with this whole swelling of internet culture in which everybody is a religious zealot anyway. And like those two things combined are really, they're not good, right? So like, I actually got I've been harassed by Gamergate and I've been harassed by other opposing idealist groups as well on Twitter. And I know what that looks like. And I actually had a mini Rust harassment mob on me the other day. Like, it was just like fucking Gamergate or, name your weird leftist woke lobby, right? It was just like one of those. Fortunately, it wasn't actually that many people, and I just blocked them all, and it was fine. But it was exactly the same thing. Like, if you go on Twitter and somebody has a little crab in their bio, just block them. Take my word for it. Gamergate was leftist? No, I'm saying I've also been harassed by leftist groups, and it's the same thing. Like, even though it's actually quite remarkable, even though Gamergate and like woke mob kind of people think that they're totally different from each other, they look exactly the same when you're getting harassed by them on Twitter. It's astonishing. Okay. Programming language communities in general are very religious. That is true. That is true. Okay. So we're going to want to at least make sure this compiles. Oh, wait, overflow. Oh, this is a linked list. Okay. Oh, this is, we're importing this namespace, so it's basic.free. All right, so we're going to at least make sure this passed the existing tests. But I presume that we just actually don't have coverage for this case. That's why it was a bug report in the first place. So we're going to make a case that exercises this. All right. Apparently you're in the cult because you were convinced by my reasoning. Well, I think that's an open problem, is how do we get a higher quality community, right? How do we get a community behind this language that's enthusiastic about it, but enthusiastic about it for better reasons, right? That's the question. Give the cam. Yeah, let me go get my tea ready again, and then we'll start the camera. Pay them. Yeah. Being able to download packages easily makes people very excited. I don't doubt that. Okay. You don't think it's possible to have a community without loud and overzealous people? Maybe, but you can at least explicitly discourage it, right? So if we have a code of conduct, it will say something like, don't be a fanatic. Okay. So, we want to make a coverage for, I think we're going to make a new program. And right now it'll just test this one case, but this is going to be just like thread weirdness case, right? Okay. Let me email this dude. Fixed in the next beta. Thanks for the report. Okay. So, well, actually, before I forget, fixed thread uninits incorrect. Cleanup of temporary storage. Okay. All right, let's try the cam, right? How am I going to get an amazing career in camming if I don't ever cam? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Chai cam later, maybe. That would be fun, wouldn't it? We haven't done a chai cam in a while. I do have milk. Okay, the camera is now physically on. It does not have that many bars of battery, but we'll see what happens. Ah, okay. We'll see if it stays on. Let me know if it goes off because I don't have my OBS up. Paid $10,000 bounty to the guy who posted the fix. That's good. I mean, okay, look. If that guy made the loading 70% faster with that, I guarantee you could make the loading many times faster than even the faster version. Because, like, it's doing all this, like, heap fragmentation shit, right? Just to load these data structures. It's like, don't hire web people to do this kind of code. Hire game engine people. Did I ever check out Mountain Stream? You know, I didn't. Let me pull up the page again. Because I do want to get some. It looked pretty good. So I'm going to leave that page open. Like what happens is once in a while, I leave pages open for a long time and then I reboot the machine or the cleaners shut it off or something. And then I don't get it. Do I have anyone using this language for data science? It's crazy how slow most models are. I don't know anything about data science, except that it's about selling people ads, which I'm not very enthusiastic about. There's going to be a clashing after public release. Clashing with who? I'm not going to listen to people who tell me to do JavaScript. Like, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm not really worried about it. I think my tea needs more steeping, actually. It's more about learning patterns in data. Yeah, it's about learning patterns in data so that you can sell people ads. Nobody has ever used data science for anything else. Or the people who did, I mean, this has been a thing for a long time, but people didn't call it data science before that, right? Like, honestly, I do think we could do some stuff to tremendously speed up that kind of model evaluation, but I'm simply not interested in helping people sell ads. I don't like it. It's a rebranding of applied statistics. Yeah, exactly. I think that's true. But that name, the word data science is mainly used, or at least maybe this is changing as the term becomes more popular, but it was mainly used by web companies who were selling ads, right? All right. Okay. Whether or not a photo contains a hot dog. All right, you're banned, dude. Fuck off. It's just you do this kind of thing too often. I can't deal. All right. So we need a case that actually tests this. Who messed up this file so bad? Was it me? Probably, yes, because I added thread group and wanted to split it up. Okay. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go work proc is takes a thread, returns S64. I forget if it's thread index or whatever. And then we're going to sleep. And okay, so for now, we're not even doing, we're going to do some kind of like a stress test or something. Okay, so well, we're going to say, we're going to make some threads. And we're going to go, we're going to wait on this and then I forget, in it, this completed semaphore and what did I just do? Whoops. Wait for the threads to finish. Wait for the semaphore. Okay. here we go. Let's go. So we're going to go yeah, we probably should get rid of thread create. Thread init. Let's call this I. We're going to init a new thread, and we're just going to leave everything the same. Later, we're going to mess with this temporary storage size because we actually want to stress test it, but not yet. Okay, so we make a thread, and we want to tell it to run thread start, right? Let's just say, because we might want to do some other stuff in here. We're just going to call it T. So we init T, we start T, and then we wait for all the things, and then release the threads, etc. So for each of these, we're going to get the thread again. We're going to go thread uninit T, print done. Okay. Print starting, print waiting, and uninitting. Okay. So, how bad did I screw that up? Let's see. Parse work proc. Okay. Not all control paths return a value. That is true. Missing argument proc. Undeclared identifier I. Yes. All right. Great. Array bounds check failed. Oh, because I'm going one right. All right. So we start up a bunch of threads. They supposedly do work, but it is, oh God, I should have poured my tea a while back. I should have listened to the tea alarm. Let's get the sound of pouring the tea. All right, we won't pour the very bottom because it might be too strong. Okay. That's pretty strong. But I didn't put a ton in there, so it's okay. All right. So this appears to work. Now what we want to do is when we do thread init, we're going to say temporary storage size is going to be very small. Okay. And the reason why TS is small, so we can generate overflow pages and test that they are properly cleaned up. Okay. Okay. So now the thing is, right, so we're going to print I times I times I times I. We're just generating some junk. Actually, let's say J is all right. Okay. So we're gonna, again, we're gonna print our thread index, and we're gonna print this thing. Okay. Now, I don't, 10 might be too many. 2 to the 10th is, all right. We're just making a big temporary string. Format requires 2 arguments, but only one. Look, the reason we got this error is because now our default metaprogram checks for these things. All right. So we're making these 640 byte temporary strings, for example. Now, overflow is ts.overflow pages, while overflow count and overflow is overflow.next. That's great. And then we print okay, we're just making sure we generated overflow pages. Dang it. All right. That's a lot of overflow pages. And we do seem to be uninitting them without crashing. That's good. Now, how about, what if we run this at compile time? Oh. Guys, I still have to remap my frickin' tilde key. Okay, there we go. It also works at compile time. That's great. So we're just going to put this in the tests now. Oh, we have one more thing to test, which is that, okay. You're allowed to do this, right? So when we do thread init, you can pass this can't type all of a sudden. You can make a temporary storage and okay. We want to supply a user level temporary storage here. Okay, how does this work? Well, we're just going to say new temporary storage. We'll just leak this. Who cares? Okay. And then, I'm actually not sure what this code does, so it's going to be good. Good to check it. Let me check. Hold on. Reset tilde now. Well, I'll do it. Someone remind me to do it at the end of the stream. Can't wait for someone to write a borrow checker meta program. Somebody definitely will. The thing is, you can't just do it. It needs a lot of markup. Like Rust has all those lifetime annotations for a reason, right? Does every thread get its own temporary storage? Yes. Yes. Okay. So we're going to make this temporary storage and $420. Yeah, let's just go. And I'm actually not sure what's the, Yeah, okay, that should be fine. Maybe not, maybe it's not. I haven't done this in a while. Okay, there we go. So this is the starting one because it has 38 overflow pages instead of 58, except, okay, no, this is sus right here. I think we broke it. The reason it's sus is these all had different results before. See how they're 49, 58, 49, 49, 58, right? Hold on. I thought we had different results for these before. Maybe not. Maybe I was just looking at the different numbers. Hold on. Let's actually, we want to do something where we make different results. Huh. Oh, you know, I mean, we do get these in different order, right? But it's only 5 threads, so these are all of them. Why do we have the same number of overflow pages in all of them? That's a little sus. Oh, you know what? Yeah, okay. So the thing I forgot is when you exceed the overflow page size, then every new allocation is going to be a separate page. So we are kind of stressing that, which is good. But if we want different numbers of pages, maybe we actually want to supply a different page size, right? Well, no. All right. Well, let's not worry about it. Like, yeah, the reason it's coming out different at compile time and runtime is that at compile time, the bytecode system makes the temporary storage, and I'm actually not sure if that is not good, that it comes out a different size. Maybe that means it's not paying attention to some parameter. Try very small. We already did. We were at 100 bytes. That's really small compared to what we're doing. Because this string, we're doubling. We start with this string, and that's what we print out, but we double it and double it and double it till it's 800 bytes, right? And we do that 10 times. It just, yeah. We use a bunch of stuff. Okay, anyway. So if we do this, and let's actually make this bigger, which I guess is the point. Oh, is that too close again? Like, I feel like these 9 are just the last 9, right? So let's cut this back down. Oh, I took this out. I was like, why is it still the same? It doesn't make sense. Because I didn't pass the parameter. If you want to succeed in the games industry, pass the parameter. Okay. So this does seem to be working. As a last check, I want to go look at just what is in starting temporary storage. Okay, we value copy it. We value copy it. That is really worth documenting. Yeah. Should be documented that starting storage gets value copied into the temporary storage used by the thread. So don't expect its fields to change. You can look at context.temporary storage to see what happened. Starting storage. Okay. Great. So I want to actually make this an official test. I guess regression. What is this one? I remember making this, but I don't. Oh, yeah. Let's just say thread TS. All right. We're going to put that there. Okay. So we're going to add that. We're going to go to the test suite. Oh, that one's not running right now. Okay. There we go. It is there. It ran. It passed. GG's. GG's. All right, so we already documented this. Let's run the tests in x64 just to be thorough. GG's. Yeah, we're going to be able to ship a beta soon. Like, it won't be the biggest beta. It won't be like the Simp beta, which was a really great beta. It was maybe the best beta ever. But it'll have some fixes that people want in it. GG's. You want this to program for you? It doesn't do that. I'm sorry. I am sorry. It does not program for you. What? I want to maybe fix this. I might have actually fixed it. I guess I fixed it because this string doesn't exist. Clean up, use tprint. Ignoring case, yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's check that in. Okay. GG's. Compiler crash calling a function with a bad... Oh, this is not good. This is an LLVM problem. This is an LLVM backend problem. Bad Signature is the name of my new band. Okay, so we have my proc with an arg that's an int. And we're saying my int plus my pointer, which should be a pointer literal that is null. Or maybe it's not an LLVM backend problem. Maybe it's just the type checker is not catching it. And then LLVM is also saying, hey, this doesn't make sense. But the problem is actually earlier. Assertion failed. So even the debug compiler does not notice anything is wrong. That seems bad. Like, I don't really know. I don't really know what it's doing. Okay. But that's fine. We can look into the type checking. So this thing, okay, this actually isn't going to be a literal. This is just straight up I mean, what? Okay, I bet actually it does it this way, right? I bet that detects. Yes. So it's something about this, we do the wrong thing. Like maybe context per evaluation is broken or something. Okay. I really could use some peanut butter M&Ms right now, but I do not have them. Therefore, I won't be able to get more fat tonight. Actually, I will. I have other snacks, but okay. We are gonna figure this out. Yeah, I don't think the problem's in the procedure call. I think the problem is integer plus. Like in binary plus, we're just inferring the wrong type. That's all. My binary plus code, I mean, right? Oh, that's not actually, yeah, it won't compile far enough. It's S64, yeah, so that's no surprise. It's just our binary operator infer is really not doing the right thing in that case. So we might get some false positives, so we're going to have to check, but this is line 11. Okay. Bam, binary file name. Wrong one. Wrong one. Wait, what? Okay, hold on. Wrong one. Wrong one. There we go. So this is just going to do the wrong thing. There's a thing where we check for pointer math. Right. So this is supposed to check for pointer math here, right? And it probably doesn't. No, we did. Ah. Okay. See, this is presumptive already. I think I know what's going on. This code a long time ago swapped the left and right operands. And that's not something we want to do anymore because we want the syntax tree that we give to the user to be right. Okay, so anyway, that's not the problem. We're going to put a no check in there because this is also very presumptive. So when we do pointer math, so that's for pointer subtract, right? Okay, yeah, this is not, This is not good. Not good. Okay. So if we're doing pointer math, we need to say pointer math target type, and then pointer operand, and then maybe non-pointer operand or whatever. It's weird because in pointer subtract, they're both pointers, right? Anyway, okay. This is fine. We know what's wrong. It's all good. Okay. So we actually don't need this no check-in because this value pointer math is now going to be a type. We're going to go we might have to make these I don't know. I don't know what to call these, but it's just a thing, guys. It's just a thing. You hope it would be a good decision to have something like Handmade Hero, but using this language. What might you think of that happening? Well, if someone wants to do that, that's great. I don't think it's a good idea for Casey to do that because he has way too many projects. But if somebody else does it, cool. Just remove pointer math from the language. Well, yeah, that could happen. Anyway. Okay, when I fix this, my reward is going to be I get some chocolate. Let me make sure I have some. Oh yeah, we got some. So I'm going to fix this and I'm going to get chocolate treat. Chocolate treat. Is it Peppermint Crunch? No, I did order a new batch of Peppermint Crunch, and I'm wondering what's the deal. Maybe my building didn't tell me that the mail arrived. Let me look. My Amazon deliveries. Oh, I never pushed send. I never pushed send. For some reason, I have $75, a 12-pack of Lake Champlain Peppermint Crunches on Amazon is $75. And then I have 6 bags of peppermint bark for $25. And this credit card got changed. So I have to do that. Okay, they show up Thursday. In the meantime, I'll have to make do with other chocolates. Which I just had some credit card where like, I mean, I still have it, but they gave me a fraud call and nobody had like actually tried to charge large amounts of money off it. But there were like 2 very suspicious verifications that happened in the same day for like 0 cents and then 15 cents. And maybe that's a new thing that people try to do to like fraud cards to go under the radar of fraud checking. But I guess I don't know. I don't know what it was. But they were like, hey, dude, did you do these? And I'm like, nope. I usually do small charges before they do a big charge. Okay. Anyway, so we have to work on this. Okay, so instead of setting this pointer math Boolean, we're going to say Whoops. So pointer math. I mean, it's probably the same in that case, but it's fine. Okay. Like primary, for a subtraction, primary and secondary don't matter. The reason I'm doing this is because primary is always pointer type. Let's say this. Okay. Oh, incorrect programs or incorrect programs. Imagine how much faster they could steal credit card numbers if only they used Rust. It's true. It's true, dude. Okay. Now this is a little bit weird. See, this is the part. See, I kind of wanted this pointer primary and pointer secondary. Let me see where I actually use this. Maybe I don't need the primary secondary stuff. Oh yeah, see, we do this swap here. Maybe I don't need any of this stuff. Hold on. Let me just revert this for a second. Maybe we'll just redo everything again. I want to know why that didn't do the right thing. It might be just as simple as we drop this value when we set the type. Hold on. I often don't read the code enough. Like, that's just my thing, is I don't really look at the code. But that allows me to go fast a lot of the times. But sometimes I just make mistakes because I do that. Okay. So pointer math is true. We're ensuring it's not relative, which in this case won't do anything. However, that is not good. I'm going to go back there for a second. Whoops. Just putting that there. I'm not even going to save the file because I don't want Visual Studio to freak out on me, but what was going on? Like, why was the stepping going to there? That was so weird. Okay. It's pointer math, so we get the literal left, literal right. Oh, they're not both literals. Here we go. So, I mean, Okay. Right. Right. Okay, so all that swapping and stuff is just constant expression evaluation. So I think, okay, I think we just fix this very simply down here, and then we'll deal with the no check-in afterward. Okay, so do we still have that wanted and given? Nah, let's just do this. Okay. Okay, so that actually is enough to fix this problem if I didn't screw it up. There we go. We now detect the problem. Now we're going to want to make a regression test for this. So we're going to go, whoops. This is going to become our test, right? And so we're going to say assert t is equal to type of my pointer. And you know what? I hate the abbreviation putter. It's gone. It is gone. All right. So t is S6 pointer to S64. That's great. All right. That's the regression. There we go. Now, fixed incorrect handling of pointer math when the pointer was on the right hand side of a binary operator like plus. I'll send email to the beta user, but then we're going to keep going. Fixed in the next beta period. Okay. Yes. Okay, so the problem is I put this no check in here. No chicken. There is no chicken right here. Let's actually, so if it's a pointer math, it is literally just plus or minus. All right. So we're going to do this here separately. Because in minus, we know that they're both pointers. And so playing some game about like, oh, we checked it before or whatever, right? Like, Yeah. And so what we're going to do here is delete this part entirely and go down to the handling for plus here. And what we're going to do is we're going to say ensure pointer is not relative. Okay. Otherwise, and this looks a little bit more verbose, but like sometimes it's just simpler to do this than to monkey around with setting a variable and whatever. All right. Now I actually want to do this. I want to go return the target type. Okay. Returns the target type if the target type is if the target I don't know. So we shouldn't actually ever return null. All right. So here we're just like doing this. So actually, all right, so we do this and then we do that. So that is actually not really going to change anything right this second because, well, we should make sure all the tests run with that. We'll run them in debug because we haven't done that in a bit. But really, we need to make a little bit more test for this. Pointer calculus. All right. So that's cool. Let's go back to our test. Okay. Let's go pint Oh my God, guys. I still don't have a tilde key. Can somebody type a tilde for me? How's Braid Anniversary going? It is going well, really. Thank you. Oh God, so many tildes. All right. So GlitchCon 2020. Good thing I copy the string names of all the things. Okay. So we have a tilde now. Thank you. All right. Okay, so this shouldn't really do anything special yet. We're just, yeah. So this is a relative pointer. It's 122 bytes, which seems like a lot. Like what? But okay. I'm not sure why it's so far from my int, but it is. That's LLVM doing something weird, probably. R minus 128. It's far in both. What are we doing? What are we putting on the stack? Anyway, there we go. So that is working. The addresses match, which is sort of what we're testing here. All right. So let's check that. There we go. It's correctly dereferencing the relative pointer. All right. So added is my int plus 1, or no, pint. That's not good. That's not good. Hold on. It didn't add the size of int. Pointer to void. That's not right. Why is it pointer to void? Keep wanting to type point. That is incorrect. There's also a lot of beef involved in this test. Do I like off-topic questions? No, I really don't. There's just too many of them. Okay, so why is that a pointer to void? See, this is a case where we found a bug before the users did, which is also telling us that not that many people are using relative pointers right now, but that's fine because I think they will get used later. All right, so let's just, before we do this, we're going to say, all right, now we also want other added is 1 plus pint. Right, we want to assert and then we want to assert type of other added is equal to type of added. Okay, they're both pointer to void. They are the same, that's great. But why are they void starts? That doesn't seem right. That don't seem right. When would I ever check this in? I wouldn't. This is just sort of a scratch file that I use. What we're going to do is when this is done, we're going to copy this to a regression test and then check it in there, but we never really check in this particular file. I'm going to warm up some tea water again. Okay. Oof. All right. Is it possible that you get a different result with other added colon equals pint plus 1? A different result than what? That we're already checking that here versus here. I don't see it. Now the question is whether this is changing the type or this. So I'm going to say see, that's a little bit different because colon equals does, it's pointer to void. What? Oh, you know, I think I do. Create new pointer type and pointers only. It's this. This is not good. I think I was trying to do that for efficiency purposes. Oh, okay. For this is the wrong one. This is for comparing equality, which is fine. So it's a good thing that we tested this. Okay. Yeah, for math, it matters because we do the C style thing where +1 means +1 element. I'm not really sure if that's the best thing in the long term. But wait, we didn't rebuild the compiler. We've said that version of if you want to succeed in the game industry several times. All right. That looks better. Okay, so we want to assert at the end of this, assert type of pint +1 is equal to type of my int. Right now the semantics, right now the semantics are that we drop the relativeness when we add because we might go out of range. I guess. Yeah. We're going to have to think about relative pointers a bit in the future, but that's how they work right now. Okay, so we're going to check that, and we're going to say assert other added is equal to my int +1, right? Yeah, and that is going to be our regression test. Let me get my key. We are now dropping the Bengal spice so as not to over-caffeinate prior to bed. Okay. So this is fixed. And we will just, instead of making a new test for this, I'm going to put it in here. And we're going to say, what's this called? Pointer math main, right? And we'll put this here. And we will make sure that works in release build with both x64 and LLVM. There shouldn't be a difference, but sometimes the LLVM backend catches things that the x64 doesn't, and vice versa. Vice versa. All right. Any questions about what we did there? Okay. Could you write a metaprogram that inserts all the functions you've marked with test into your test main? You could. It's just not. I mean, that's sort of why they're marked test right now. But the thing is, I want these things to work without a metaprogram, right? Like, part of the problem, again, in the modern universe is everybody thinks it's okay to add steps that you do before you can do what you wanted to do. And that is bullshit, right? So you should be able to run this thing. You should just be able to run this thing. I don't know. Like, it shouldn't be, like, because it's a test also, you don't want to use way more language features than you need. I don't know. I just don't feel that way about this. Maybe we could. It might be fine, but Eh. I actually feel like I should eat a little bit of salad before I have my chocolate reward. So we're going to do that. Salad. Look at that salad. Salad. Okay. So let's make sure the game runs. Yep. All right. Commit. No, that's not the right thing. Oh, I might as well. Forget it. All right. We won't do that. Fix relative pointer math type inference. Hopefully I didn't leave a note check-in in there. Nope. Tea steeped. Oh, it's Bengal spice. We got to steep it extra. Any questions about what we did? No questions? No questions. Equality checks involve a conversion to 64-bit. No, in both cases, we're converting to 64-bit. The difference is just we were converting to void pointer when really we want to convert to non-relative pointer of whatever the thing was. But it's 64-bit both ways. I had my salad. It's a very tangy salad dressing, so I'm going to wait a bit before the chocolate. Why are relative pointers awesome and not confusing? Because they are much smaller than 64-bit pointers. And or you can serialize them in a block of data and they just work. Is the implicit conversion effect? That actually reminds me, I have a good idea for a test. Is the implicit conversion effectively taking the largest size specified? I might have done that test already. The largest size specified by the... No. No. They have to... The types have to match. What happens to rel pointer equals rel pointer plus 1? It converts it to 64-bit, adds 1, converts it back to relative, and then, maybe the optimizer can attack that. T-steeped yet? Let's see. Yeah, this is pretty good. Pretty good steep level. Starts opening wingsuit. That must have been Blackout. Man, I had a number of problems with Call of Duty Blackout, but it was way less boring than Call of Duty Warzone. Just puts me to sleep. It's so bad. I mean, it's bad in terms of, it's very polished and all that stuff. It's just bad in terms of being interesting. I think people play it because there just isn't something else. Say you're really impressed with what some of the modders produce. It makes you wonder why we moved away from brushes and CSG levels. Because they just don't look as good, is the thing. Like, you can't do high production value modern video game stuff with brushes and CSG levels. I agree, however, though, like the thing that makes it moddable is not exactly the technical thing that it's brushes. What makes it moddable is just that, well, I guess the fact that you have this CSG operation might be part of it, but like what makes it moddable is just that you have these geometric creation primitives in the engine that just work, right? So Dreams does a similar thing, I guess, but not with brushes. It does it with, I think, sign distance functions everywhere, right? So you could do a version of Quake with sign distance functions, and that might be good. It's just like, hey, if you want to make a game and it's not based around that kind of thing, you suddenly need a 3D modeling program, and then you need to be good in that modeling. It just puts it much further out of reach, right? There's just something about that. Those 9 bangs, yeah. Problem with Warzone is, yeah, if Warzone had a boat club, I would probably play it a little bit. That's true. That is not a lie. That is not a lie. So do I want to do more stuff, or do I want to log out the stream? Let's chat for a little bit more. Off-topic questions now we can do, and we'll just talk about things while I decide if I want to debug more things. Because the thing I really need to debug is the Heisenberg bug that snuck in for beta 49 that I still haven't fixed. We do have more mailbag bugs. Maybe we need to do more mailbag. I don't know. Seems like the exploration of a complex concept through game design that you've done in Braid and Witness takes well to puzzle games. How do I think is replicated in an action game? I mean, it's just the same. I don't know why people think it's so different. It's just the same. It's just the same. Unmap the tilde key. I can't do that without restarting. What was the last nonfiction book I enjoyed? The Dream Machine. I still haven't finished reading it. So it's the current nonfiction book. Dreams has SDFs plus hybrid with other techniques. Yeah. Cool. Doing drop-down consoles are always fun. Is always fun. You just sent me an easy one. Was that the unshared thing? Yeah, I'm not going to look at that yet because I kind of, since it's been a while since the last beta, I have some stuff that was sent. Well, there's one thing that you sent too on March 5. So like I've got some stuff that's 10 days old that I haven't looked at yet. So I kind of need to do that. Before I look at other stuff. I kind of want to fix the Heisenbug though. These are worth doing. Like these people will appreciate. Do I try and do them chronologically? No. Not like often it's kind of random, but if things get too old, that's not that good, right? If things get too old, it is not good. All right, let's see this one. Two overloaded definitions of the same procedure can't have identical argument lists, but the procs have different names. It also reports it twice. Yes, let's debug that because somebody else actually recorded a similar thing. I need a vacation again. So I'm starting to I started streaming and that was a good burst, but I'm starting to feel tired. But we will have my reward chocolate. We'll see what the bug is. And then we'll have my reward chocolate. And then we'll hopefully fix it. Okay. Two overloaded definitions of the same procedural cannot have identical argument lists. But these are two totally different procedures, right? So WTF. Now, it is suspicious that they both have the word toString in them. So I wonder if that's confusing it somehow. I really don't know how it could be. But yeah, we will look at it. Okay. My reward chocolate for being good and working and fixing some of these bugs is dark chocolate peanut butter cups. Yum, yum. I can't wait to hire someone to help with the compiler again. That's going to be really good. We've talked to some people. There's some promising things. We've got more people to talk to still, but yeah, that'll be nice. We could turn up the speed on, for example, responding to stuff like this or whatever. Where are the peanut butter M&Ms? I do not have. I ate them all. They are gone. All right. So first, let's just run the debug compiler and see if it asserts, because sometimes that happens. Nope. All right. So the next thing is we will want to just set a breakpoint at this thing and see what we can figure out about it. All right. So why is this on here? And the folder is non-overloads. Great. Okay, so we want to set a breakpoint at two overloaded definitions, blah, blah, blah. Two overloaded definitions of the same procedure. All right. So here we go. So yeah, it definitely thinks they have different names. Why are we here? Oh. Does somebody else import these as the same name? These are somehow both being overloaded as toString. So I think the problem is someone somewhere else in the program is trying to alias this to toString, and it also sees this. Okay? Does that sound plausible? And the problem is just the error message is not telling you the site. That's very likely. Okay. So the problem is the error message is not helpful enough. It's like, okay, these are the definitions, but yeah, okay. So we want to say where this is happening. This is a scope entry. It's line 37 of where are we again? Non-overloads. Bugsteam. Source autogen. Steam API. Okay. Line 37. Yeah. So that is overloading with toString. So the question is, how do we know? Because if we're too verbose and just spew out tons of information every time, that might be annoying. So I guess the question is, if it's an import link, we could actually, okay, never mind. We actually can, right, so we actually know okay. We actually know if it's an import link, right? Actually, no, because we've stripped that by now. So we actually need to save that data. So where do we add to the overloads? This is entry in Lambda. Okay. It, weird. Oh, okay. Right, it's not an import link. It's bound to an expression. So the deal is we're printing out the lambda here. And so what we could do is, so often when you just have a procedure declaration, there's a declaration and the expression on the declaration is the lambda, right? In this case, that's not the case. So what we can do is say if the expression we're already trying to be helpful with this imported by, but this is not an import situation. This is just a direct, you have an expression that maps to the thing. So, okay, yeah, here's what we need to do to give the information. We need to say dot entry expression. We're just going to type it out and make it work. We're going to want to do this in both cases, and the problem is it's going to be copy pasta unless we factor it out. But due to the strings, it's a little bit annoying to factor out. We'll just see. Okay, auto decl I is static cast ask declaration overloads I dot entry, and if is not equal to li, this procedure is mapped. What do we say is referenced. This procedure is being brought into the overload list by this declaration. Okay, so we'll actually see if that actually kicks in for this thing, expression. What? Oh. Right. Duh. Durr. All right. So here we go. This procedure is being brought into the overload list by this declaration. Here's the other procedure. All right. So, and then the reason it happens twice is because it gets detected in the opposite direction. I guess, or no, maybe not. Maybe it gets loaded twice in your program for some, I don't know. We'll look at the happening twice thing separately. It might be for a dumb reason. So we need to do the same thing for the other thing. But actually, it'll be easy to copy pasta. Or not copy pasta, but not directly using lambda, which right, so this is to check a case like decl name : lambda name. Okay. So, and then down here, we're going to go else, and LJ. Okay. We need to pass in terp. Going to pass in terp. And then here. To return that. Gonna cast it to declaration. All right. Great. Boom. Yeah. So this at least would have told you the problem. So that's good. We can mark that up in the fixes, and then we can say, why is it happening twice, right? But let's run tests on this. Error messages about overloaded procedures. With identical argument lists now provide more information if are linked manually via constant expressions. Nobody's going to know what the hell that means. Okay. So let's run the tests and then we'll see why it happens twice. Why does it happen twice? All right. Kind of sad it's not just a compiler bug. Well, it is a compiler bug. It's just, I mean, sort of, right? Like, if you have high standards, the job of that error message is to tell you what the problem is, and it didn't do that entirely, right? I mean, it did, but not well enough. So that's sort of a bug. It's just a different kind. What text editor am I using? I am using Character Text Editing Program 2022. Okay. Why is it happening twice? Let's just see where we're getting called from. I feel like it's literally just... I actually don't know. Let's see. Because we do return from the function when we do this. So it's not like just looping over this. So this declaration is line 37. And then this time, it's also the same one. Let's see again. Here we are, decal arrow S. 129 it ends with. Let's make sure that we can return from here. Okay. And we go on and so forth. And then we get here again. It's also 129. Wait, whoa. Is this a different one? Hold on. 11813. We're doing this twice. We're just doing this twice. Okay, this is gross. I'm not sure why I felt like maybe I needed to do that. Does this thing need the inferred type of the declaration? No. I think this is maybe just a mistake. I don't know. Oh, this is in... No? Okay. Okay, it's literally the same function. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. And if we ever need to, I'm actually gonna put a note here. What is Emacs doing? It's so slow, dude. Oh my God. What is happening? It takes like 300 milliseconds to delete a line. All right. If we used to have another ironically redundant call to check for redundant overloads down below after decal inferred type was set, and that was messier because we had to unset it, etc. I am not sure if there had been a reason to put it down there. It is now removed, but if we put it back, we need to say why it needs to be down there and not here. Okay, great. Okay. Sorry, I'm sending a text. Sometimes I send texts. Okay. So let's verify that this indeed doesn't. Okay, so now we don't say it twice. That's great. Who would have guessed that if you call a function twice, it runs twice? Who would have thought? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so release compiler. We will test it on, like, really this shouldn't break anything, but you never know. With computers, anything can happen. What's my view on automatic formatting? I don't see why that's supposed to be a good idea. I mean, I know why they think it's a good idea, but it's totally not. Did I see the question about possibly improving foo pointer to void braces error message? Yeah, that's probably, if you emailed it, it's in there still. I have a backlog of emails still, basically. Although if it was in the middle of that other email that had a bunch of stuff where I was like, this is low priority, I might have just skipped it for now. Oh, just in chat. No, I guess I didn't see that. Okay, let me check this in. Let me tell people what happened. Error messages about overloaded procedures no longer happen twice redundantly. Okay. We're starting to get a reasonable list of fixes on the thinger. Okay. You're on the stream, but I'm emailing anyway, fixed in the next beta. Because I do that sometimes. Okay. So somebody said, hey, in compile time execution, when you do a stack trace, if there's a crash, it just shows the heads of the procedures, not everything. And yes, that was by design when I did it. Wait, it's not crashing now. Oh, that's because we fixed the other bug that made this crash. But we can, this is just a little syntax tree, printer inspector thing. So let's just say X pointer to S64 and Y is dereference X. That should crash us. Okay. So what he's saying is like, hey, these things all point at the head of the procedure instead of down in there. And that's true. But I think that was just because when I was doing the stack trace, I was being super paranoid about it and didn't want to rely on a lot of runtime data existing. But I don't think this is actually hard to do. Maybe it is. I don't know. For now, we can look at the debug expression. That's going to go away later. But we can map that to lexical blocks. We have like lexical block data structures now and stuff. You value formatters because you don't have to argue with your team. That's fine. But what if you disagree as a personal person and you want your own style? The style does not affect the semantics. Actually, it does. That's false. That's like saying in video games that the graphics doesn't affect the design or whatever. It totally does. Even though like logically it seems like it doesn't. In actual human reality, it does. What if every programmer has their own style? Well, look, okay, let me put it this way. Whether every programmer on your team should have the same style in order to help with these kinds of issues, I think should be your decision as the team leader, right? It should not be my decision as the programming language author. And so I think that's sort of the mistake of Go, in a sense, is that they decided how things should be and then they made tools to enforce those things. And I guess you don't technically have to use those tools, but like it's sort of expected that you do. I don't know. It's just too strong arming. Like, I think, look, if you run a team and you're like, I want all my programmers to have the same style, that's your decision. And then you're competing in the universe with people not making that decision. And if making that decision is better than making it otherwise, then that'll help you. Otherwise, it'll hinder you. And that's how competition works. And that's great. But it's not my job to tell you, because I value the individual programmer's style and how it feels, right? And that's actually important, I think, to the joy of programming. Hopefully that makes sense. So, if you run a company or a small team in some way, and you want to like make a meta program that enforces rules, or have a linter that enforces rules, or have a formatter plugin for your editor that runs every time you save the file, that's up to you. That's fine, right? It's just I'm not going to do that and provide that. Because I don't think that everybody should conform to something. I think people should be free to do it the way that they want to do it. Having to use all styles in C++ because every library uses a different one does not contribute to the joy of programming. I don't know. Maybe it does and you don't know it. Like maybe the benefit of all those library authors getting to do their own thing results in higher qualities of library that you then get to enjoy as the users. Like it's not, these things aren't obvious. Is that in a world where you don't review the other code? I don't know what the other code is that you're talking about. Go is designed to be used by Google. Shouldn't all the Google programmers have the same stuff? Did you listen to what I just said? Are you listening? Why would I review code of some random other developers that write in a different style? Why is that up to me? Okay, let's see what we can do about this. Here's a stack trace print call stack. Oh, well, that's easy. That's right there. It's in TC Tugger. Okay. Let me make sure. Yeah, so we compile this in all the time. Eventually, I think this is only going to be in debug build, right? Okay, so actually, whoops. All right, this is file name. Okay, so here we go. We got to look at the program counter. Resume PC. Oh God, right. I changed. Oh. Whoops. If index is less than or equal to record bytecode instructions. Oh God. Right. Instructions dot count. Okay, if that's the case, then we say get instruction by index. Get instruction by index, record bytecode index. We don't need the bucket. Okay, L0 is X for L0, C0 is X for C0, file name equals X for file name. There we go. Easy. So easy. It's the easiest thing I've ever done. Not really. Especially because it like didn't do it. So when we're doing a procedure call, okay, this is weird. This is weird. Well, let's print the call stack. All right. Whoa. Wait, did I not recompile the compiler? Oh no, this is the, okay. Dang it. How do I... This is a thing where like it's behaving differently because the debugger is attached, right? I guess I can manually disable that. Okay, let's try manually disabling that. Is debugger present? Oh, geez. That's not, all right. Handle exception. Here we go. Here we go. Quality code edit right there. Didn't matter. Okay. Okay, you want to see some expert stuff. Here is expert stuff. What's my sleep? Is it sleep milliseconds or is it? It's OS sleep with a milliseconds argument. We're going to sleep for 30 seconds. 15 seconds. We're going to say print. Okay, so I'm going to have 15 seconds to attach to the process once it does this, right? Whoops, print F. Debug, attach to process. Where is it? I only have 15 seconds. Where's my process? The too late. Why was it not there? Oh, wait, I was looking for A. It's under J. There it was. Okay, hold on. Control-Alt-P. Control-Alt-P. Great. All right, let's try it again. Control-Alt-P. There we go. And maybe our breakpoint is still there. I don't remember where it was. No, our breakpoint was not there. But all we have to do is reset the breakpoint. All right? And then do the same thing. Control-Alt-P, J, attach. And now we're just waiting. Look how fast I was. Look how fast I was. Okay, lambda. Index is 1597. We get the instruction. Okay. Oh, guys, I didn't. Okay. If you want to succeed in the game industry, now I have to wait 15 seconds. That still didn't. Hold on. Why did it still not work? Now I'm really confused. Okay, no, that worked. Okay, there we go. So line 7, right? It's actually more like it's a little bit off for some reason. That's actually maybe something we should look at. Oh, because it's the resume. Right. So it's a little bit better, but it's not actually. So here we're getting it, right? But for these other ones, we're getting line 7 for some reason. Oh, it's because actually, so these are at the end of these blocks. It's because the resume index is where you want to end up. Yeah, okay. Okay, let me do this. Subtract 1. Wait, what is happening here? What were we doing there? Subtract 1 because we want, I mean, to be in code involved in the call, not the code after the call, which is what this is set to. For like better debugging, this might not actually be good in all cases. Okay, let's see. Okay, that looks better. Line 5, 18, and 12. Line 5, that's a print. Line 18 and line 12. Yeah. So the line 5 one is a little bit wrong. And the problem is, if it's the first one, we actually want to put a note here, line number information. Okay, so the problem is, for speed purposes, we do not write out the line number every time we execute an instruction, because that would make bytecode execution a lot slower, right? So we only do it when we need to anyway. Okay, so this is still a mostly better stack. So what we're going to tell people is improved line number information for the stack printed out during compile time execution. Firstly, and then secondly, we're going to go here into TC Tugger, and we're going to say here if here's a note, if I is equal to count minus 1, note equals line number information for this line number information is likely. The line number information. I don't like, I want to make it clear that it's only here. Information for the top of the stack is likely to be inaccurate because, let's just say that. That's already pretty long. All right. And then here we're going to say note. All right. Great. Great. That's good enough to tell people what's going on. Hello, good morning. So better line number information here, and then there we go. Okay, so, whoops, that's OBS. I'm going to go to the email and I'm going to say fixed in the next beta, though, because of the way the execution engine works, the line number information for the very top of the stack is not likely to be accurate. The error message has a note about this, but the rest of the stack should be good. All right. So that is more quality that we are shipping to the beta users. Yeah. So that's not going to affect the tests at all, but we are going to rerun the tests because that's what we do. There we go. Great. Great. Good, good, good. Good, 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 good. Is it possible to make it accurate? Not really right now. I mean, we would have to do some very, very tweaky platform-specific stuff that is likely to break about introspecting on our own stack in C++ and trying to figure out where the thing is, and that's just not good. That said, I wonder if we could store the address of the variable somewhere. That might like introduce aliasing in a bad way, but it's possible. So the reason it's inaccurate is because we want to be able to loop over a bunch of bytecode instructions without doing extra work per instruction. Now, in reality, this might not actually be slower, so maybe eventually we'll fix it. But so we don't write that out, but we do write it out when we do a procedure call because we're calling a different place, and then we need to know where to come back to, right? So it sort of points to the last procedure call or the beginning of the function. We could, every time we call into that function, store the address of the thing somewhere. Like, I'll make a note about this. I'm just not sure that's a good idea. Again, because of aliasing. But if enough people complain, you know, we really should. See, we really should fix this. It's just the aliasing's going to fuck us. Except not really, because it'll be in cache. Let me, let's try it. Is there a way to just not print the topmost line? No, because people need to know that's where so the reason why I am relenting on this is because that's like where the crash actually happened, which is very important information. Like that's what you actually want to know is like what frickin' line did the crash happen in, right? And if we're not reporting that, okay. Yeah, so I've changed my mind. So where is this thing? Oh, it's in continue bytecode, right? Oh, run loop. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. This is going to be called run loop index pointer. This should really be S32 and S32 resume, what do we call it? That's null. All right. The problem though is what happens if do we like return anywhere? Return. Yeah, no. Okay. So when we're TC tugging over here, we can say if thread arrow thread arrow run loop index pointer, right? Then, I mean, hopefully we don't, hopefully we do not crash. Sure hope I initialized that. Yeah, okay. Okay, index equals star this. That might be introduction confusion. Ah. Okay, also We might want to take that note out. All right. So that doesn't actually seem better. Why not? Wait, what? Whoops. I keep getting my languages crossed here. So the pointer is non-null. Three. What? That doesn't seem right. Let's actually see where that crashes. Is it 3? That seems really weird. Okay. So we're in index 3. Oh, but that's the bucket. MFer. Ammer effer. First instruction index 64. Yeah. So, yeah, I forgot this isn't actually... Okay, first, this like... Yeah. Let's set that as well. It's not that slow. If we set a thing every bucket, that's not that bad. We just don't want to be setting things every instruction. Oh God, this is so slow, dude. This file is less than 4,000 lines and Emacs is choking on this amazing fast PC. I don't understand what GNU people's fucking problem is. Like, I don't even have much loaded into this Emacs. It is almost bare bones. And it can't even edit text file. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Okay. Run loop things. Great. Very good. When we set the bucket, we do this. Oh, but this index is also... It's resume bucket. Oh. Okay, this resume PC index is the index inside the bucket. So that was wrong. It was only luck that that came out right, because we were in the first bucket. So we're going to have to fix that. All right. Okay. TC Tugger. All right. So, what's it called? Resume. Bucket. Bucket equals run loop bucket. So here we also want to check this, just to be paranoid. Okay, so we do this, we do these. All right, so so we just say bucket so we have bucket and we have a valid index. We say we get that, and then we do this. So many things wrong. Okay. Instruction bucket. It's not a bucket. All right. Great. Nope. Debug compiler. Debug. Debuge. Okay. Let's check these. 24, 18, and 12. So the 18 and 12 are the same. The 24, it now says, is the location of the crash. And it is. Okay. So I'm going to go back to this user that I just sent this thing to. Actually, I had an idea about how to make the top of the stack accurate, and it seems to be working. So that, okay, great. That's good. That's good. Now we want to get rid of our no check-ins, which were here, and this note thing, which we now totally don't even need anymore. And we instruction bucket. We instruction bucket. Okay. Casey has had entire streams dedicated to bug fixing for a coder. That's not good. And Casey, I don't know. He seems to want much different things out of an editor than me, and that's totally fine. I mean, I'm cool with that, but all right, release build. Like, I think Casey might have helped drive 4Coder to be what it is. Maybe. I'm sure he submitted a lot of feedback, and it's just something that I don't want. Like, Casey wants things that programmers can configure, right? And I don't really want. I mean, it's fine if programmers can configure something, but they shouldn't like have to configure it to make it good, right? And I don't know. That's I am extremely unexcited by the, like, I want things to work out of the box. I want things to be good out of the box, right? All right, well, we'll run LLVM tests as well. This isn't really going to affect any of this because it's only for crashes in bytecode execution, which shouldn't happen here at all. Every programmer wants things to work a different way, and there's no way to make even a majority of them happy. Yeah, but there are lots of different editors, right? So assuming that comment is about editors, right? So you just make your editor. I mean, look, it's fine if you make it configurable, right? But like, don't require configuration. That's all. And also just know what your mission statement is and know what your audience is. And it doesn't have to be everybody, right? Just like I don't make a game for everybody. If I made an editor, it would not be the editor for everybody. It would be the editor for people who want this editor. Is that stack tracing only at compile time, or do you have an equivalent for runtime? We do not do runtime stack traces yet. We'll do it eventually. Okay, within your program, you can print out user level stack traces, and there's also like a module that sort of portably does that at the operating system level, but or uses the operating system facilities, right? But we don't do that by default when you build a program. And the reason is because I didn't really have a way to disable it if you thought that that was too much stuff. However, now that we have a default meta program, we're going to be able to disable it. So that's okay. My opinion on the best training or college to get into cybersex. I don't think you need to go to college to get into cybersex. I think it's pretty easy. I think OnlyFans University will tell you about that. Okay. Does that mean if the program crashes, there's no stack trace? Yeah, like if you want a stack trace right now, you use a debugger, but we'll enable one by default later. Yeah. Well, that might be the end of the stream, everybody. We have done good changes. Improve the call stack that happens when bytecode execution crashes. That people will appreciate that. That will be a good change. This is almost enough to ship the beta. The thing is, I want to do this one, but I don't want to do it tonight. And I want to fix the frickin' Heisenbug. There's like another Heisenbug that crashes us sometimes, very rarely. And I have no idea what caused it. So I want to fix that as well. And then we'll ship the beta. But I don't know how long it's going to take to fix that. Maybe I could do all these things tomorrow. Both of these things tomorrow. Who knows? I would like to ship the beta tomorrow. But you know, the Heisenbug might be hard to find. You just got here? Well, you can watch the stream of whatever fantastic streamer we are about to host, right? Let's find out. Who are we gonna host? In details, he's getting a lot of viewers lately. That's good. Good. Barn Owls, they're getting lots of viewers. That's great. Oh, this dude was saying he streams on macOS. Let's see. Or she. I'm not going to assume. Oh, there we go. macOS. Yeah. Totally. All right. macOS is the operating system for people who like anime girls. That look like they're 12. Total carnage.
But it's a bit spicy.
Okay, we're gonna raid this. Thanks everyone for coming by. It looks like Super Meat Boy. That was very intelligent. We're gonna raid this, and I'll see you later. Unmap the tilde key. Oh, I forgot. I'll do it right after the stream. Bye, everyone.